This is really crazy, people. Lawyers and the CEO of Ripple say that the case against the SEC could end soon and in our favor, right? It's finally here after years of waiting. Of course, crypto experts are sure that the price of the XRP Ripple coin is going to go through the roof. Some people say it could cost as much as $2,050. Doesn't make sense? Let's break it down. You will be amazed by this movie. Nota bene, the long-running court battle between Ripple Labs and the SEC seems to be almost over after almost 5 years of legal trouble. The XRP community is feeling more and more hopeful because of recent events that point to a possible deal before the next deadline for status updates on August 15th. In December 2020, regulators went after Ripple for selling XRP as an unregistered security. This has since turned into one of the most important legal fights in the history of crypto. People in the crypto world are really excited, especially on X. Influencers like Jack the Rippler have asked, will the SEC say today that the Ripple case is over? Some people, like Crypto Barbie, say that Ripple dropped their cross appeal, and they think that the SEC will also drop theirs. These are not just idle tales. They show that a peaceful solution is becoming more likely. This chance has grown since Judge Analisa Torres' important decision on June 26, which allegedly reduced the SEC's legal power. There is more and more talk about whether Ripple and the SEC will reach a deal before the middle of August. Some experts say the chance is between 70% and 90%. Even though people are hopeful, law voices are warning people to be careful. Mark Fagel, a former attorney for the SEC, gave much-needed background information and reminded everyone that while an update is coming on August 15th, SEC procedures don't move as quickly as social media. About 1 to 2 months pass after. A big court decision before the agency makes a suggestion for enforcement. The SEC commissioners must then look over that suggestion and agree with it before any settlement or firing is public. Fagel was honest about the doubt. He said it was all just a guess. He told them not to take what people say on social media as legal proof and made it clear that the joint status report coming in August is the only commitment that is legally binding at this point. Anyway, if it turns out that both sides drop their pleas, that's a strong sign that talks are well underway. This is a cautiously hopeful time for people who own XRP. The market is paying close attention, not just because the result could change prices, but also because it could change how US law treats digital assets. If Ripple can avoid an injunction and instead pays a fine that is said to be around $50 million, it might have a better regulatory base than most crypto companies in the country. A deal like this would not only back up Ripple's long-held view that XRP is not a security, but it could also lead to relisting on big US exchanges and more interest from institutions. The effects go far beyond XRP and affect all cryptocurrencies in a big way. A Ripple settlement could change how officials look at utility tokens, which would push the SEC to make its rules more clear and consistent. This case has become a sign of the conflict between new ideas and rules, since Ripple chose to fight rather than give in to pressure from the government. That choice could be good for everyone in the blockchain community, not just people who own XRP. But still, nothing is certain. As both Ripple and the SEC get closer to a key law point, patience is still very important. Everything is still just a guess until court documents confirm a resolution. But if this long fight ends in the next few weeks, it will be a historic moment that could change how crypto is regulated in the US in the future. You think you know everything? Just wait until you hear what the top crypto analysts have to say next. I know you're not ready for this. Not only are these predictions crazy, but they might also change the way you think about XRP's future. Even if only half of them come true, it could be one of the biggest comebacks in this field's history. That's why Ripple Pumpkins tweet, "Who else thinks that when XRP goes on a bull run, it won't need to depend on news, price changes, buy or sell orders, or court cases? Said it all. It's going to go 3,500% up to the moon." That kind of thinking isn't just makes people feel good. It comes from the belief that XRP's full value will be revealed in the long run through its usefulness, not just speculation. Then there's Imonix's post that is now going viral. Picture this. You wake up, overnight, XRP is $2,150. Your wallet has 7 figures in it. Headlines in the news are yelling, "The crypto restart is done." You look in your pocket. You're picked, not just rich. It's the kind of dream situation that seems impossible but is actually quite possible in a market known for sudden turns and huge rallies. But besides memes and moonshots, some of the most optimistic predictions come from people who work in the environment. It is said that Ripple's CEO has talked about a $21 trillion utility vision for XRP, in which Ripple's net and on-demand liquidity corridors become the normal way to send money across borders. One well-known supporter of XRP did the math and found that if that dream comes true, each XRP could be worth $373. Also, don't forget Arthur Brito, one of the leaders of Ripple and the person who designed the core codebase for XRP. Brito once said that XRP is made for $10,000. Not right now, not even for this market cycle, but on purpose. This means that the technology, supply chain, and global financial infrastructure should be able to support that many. That's not just hope, that's also design. Another one is Levi from Crypto Crusaders. His latest video sent a simple but important message that caused a lot of buzz. Today, everyone should have at least 2,000 XRP. He is not saying that he is a business advisor. He's instead pushing what he calls strategic positioning. Levi breaks it down in a way that makes sense. If XRP reached $1976 per coin, the market value would be $114 trillion. That's a lot of money, but it's theoretically possible if XRP becomes part of a global tokenized economy. He also tempers the vision by offering goals that are more realistic. Let's say someone owns 506 XRP. If XRP hits $198, which would take a market cap of about $11.4 trillion, that person could win $100,000. That makes sense in a world where trillions of dollars are printed every night, central banks play around with digital currencies, and businesses rush to tokenize everything from real estate to the national debt. Things are moving faster. As soon as the SEC case is over, the law may become clear, which could allow a lot of institutional funding. If regulators give the go-ahead, XRP might finally be able to fight fairly on the world stage. Many people think that's when it could really take off. There are a lot of crazy numbers being thrown around, like 198, 373, 2150, or even $10,000. But keep in mind that in crypto, today's crazy number can become tomorrow's big story. That's not the real question. Can XRP hit those levels? The real question is the world ready for what will happen if it does? Right? It gets better though. Now let's talk about Ripple's real secret weapon, its relationships around the world. Ripple has been working behind the scenes to make deals that could change the whole financial system while everyone else is focusing on charts and news stories. I know you're not ready for this. What's about to happen could change the way you always think about XRP. So XRP's story isn't just about guessing the price or going to court. It's about a change in the way money goes around the world that is happening in the background. Ripple's CTO recently confirmed what a lot of people inside the company have been thinking or a while. XRP and the XRP ledger are being added to banks' payment systems all the time. This is not a small change. It's a huge change that could free up trillions of dollars in world cash. Imagine a world where sending money between countries is fast, clear, and cheap. Ripple is setting up XRP to be the world's backbone. The fact that XRP is neutral is what makes it stand out. XRP is not tied to any one country or government, as XRP Dragon said so well. It's what connects them. XRP is a strong bridge asset because it can easily connect different currencies, stablecoins, and tokenized assets in a world economy that is becoming more digital and tokenized. Unlike traditional banking, which is limited by national lines and rules, XRP makes it possible to send money around the world very quickly and easily. There are rumors coming from Europe that this trend is getting even stronger. Recently, crypto influencer Amelie posted that the Frankfurter Stock Exchange was said to have confirmed that Europe is testing the digital euro on the XRP ledger. This isn't just a rumor. If it's true, it means that a big institution backs XRP's technology